Welcome to PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm joined today by my brother and good friend Anthony Bongiorno. Anthony, how are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
We just waited for like 20 minutes because we DoorDashed some batteries for the recorder.
Because this is a real high tech operation we've got running here.
But don't we live in an amazing country where we can just sit on our asses and have batteries brought to us?
Yeah, it's something.
You know what I mean? Your grandparents would cry if they knew this. If your grandparents were alive and they knew this, they would cry. They'd be like, surely the world must be a utopia. So today's episode is, I called it Go-To Texts for Serotonin.
So it's just, I read that as things that make you happy.
Yes. So yeah, serotonin would be, what is even a chemical?
Sure, it's a chemical in the brain.
Is chemical the right word though?
I think so.
And text is the sort of, that's the teacher in me coming out, because a movie is a text, a book is a text.
Any piece of media
Is a text, actually, because you read it. So go-to texts for serotonin. So let's explain this even further. That doesn't mean my favorite movie or my favorite whatever. It means when I'm feeling down in the doldrums and I want a little pick-me-up.
Yeah.
These are things I go to.
Okay.
You were telling me you have how many movies on your list?
Okay.
We have 5 each, as always.
Yeah, I have three movies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want me to tell you which? I have 3 movies, a TV show, and a book. I have an honorable mention.
I have 1 TV show, no movies.
Wow.
Isn't
you have 4 books?
No.
Okay.
There's not a single book on here.
It just occurred to me that this is very much our favorite things. Well, it's not our favorite. You just said it's not our favorite things. Yeah. But this is very much like our Raindrops on Roses and Whiskers on Kittens.
Yes.
This is what you turn to when the dog bites.
Yeah.
When the bee stings.
Yeah.
When you're feeling sad.
Yeah.
Why is one of her favorite things doorbells?
Because it's a stupid
What a
song.
simple bitch.
What a simple bitch.
Doorbells.
You simple bitch.
Oh boy. May she rest.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go right ahead.
I feel like I cut you off.
Go right ahead. No, please.
Yeah. These are some of these are my favorites, but they are things that I like. If I'm like feeling down, I just need to pick me up. I'm gonna throw on one of these things.
Yeah, that's
and
how I saw it.
One of them is a little film called Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde, starring the inimitable Reese Witherspoon.
So, has this always been such a thing for you?
Yeah, so I saw this movie when it first came out. I was in high school, and I just remember being charmed to death by it and thinking it was so fun and colorful and, just so light.
Yes.
And it's, it's not, there's nothing about it that's serious, but it's also feel good in that it's got some empowering moments for some characters.
Right.
So you get to see Elle evolve from someone who is on the outside very secure, but really has an insecurity about her intellect and her capability. And then gets herself into Harvard Law to chase a man. Has there are some foibles. She has the realization that she actually can do this, and that she actually cares about justice.
Yeah.
And then the movie goes from there.
Yes.
And she has some fun along the way.
So if you're having a bad day or
I'll throw it on.
Will you ever just you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna break the rules a little bit.
Sure.
There are 2. This I feel like is just so connected to another one on my list that I just want to talk about them at the same time.
Sure.
So it's Legally Blonde and Clueless.
Okay.
They both serve the same purpose for me, and it just occurs to me now that they're kind of about very similar main characters.
Right. You're an adult man.
Correct.
And these are films about young...
One's a high school girl, one's a college girl. Young blondes. Like, the world thinks they're ditzy.
Yeah.
And dismisses them. But they actually have depth. Okay. And they... throughout the film convey that depth.
Okay.
To others and are empowered.
Let's unpack this a little bit.
What step into their power? Yes.
What do you think speaks to you, or do you think or is it just simply a cozy thing?
I think it's not cozy. I remember we had this not a fight, but we had this like disagreement where I said like I feel like there are movies that are charming that are not cozy. This is what I'm talking about. Like Clueless is charming. Legally Blonde is charming. They make you feel good. They're I'm smiling while I'm watching this, but it's not cozy like I want to be in the world of Clueless or anything.
I agree. Okay, I see.
It's just like they're so charming and they're unassuming, and movies like this I feel like that seem like it's almost like the characters in them, they seem like they would be Airhead movies, but they're actually substantive.
Yes. Okay.
Like they have something to say. I think they're both stories about, as I just said, like women who are dismissed by society who then step into their power.
Is there any is any of it for you deciding to watch one of these movies if you're feeling bad? Is any of it based on not even so much the film itself, but the time
in
when
which
you watched it?
No. Really? No. I think it's just the movie. For both of them, because I mean I remember the first time I saw them, but it's not like it's not like I'm nostalgic for that time period. It's the world of the film that makes me feel like, oh, this is giving me a pick me up. This is fun. It's like eating ice cream or candy or something.
Okay, and like that's part of, to me at least, that's part of like the whole ethos of PCMC. Like life is a fucking horror show.
Life's the worst. It's a slog.
And
what are we doing here? We're on the verge of civil war.
So, all right, enough. So, these things are there to make us happy. Like I'm really excited. This isn't on my list, but I'm really excited about the new Superman movie, as I would be.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, it looks awesome. But I saw someone say...
Of course you saw someone say something. Fuck the internet forever. It's ruined everything. Go ahead.
Yes, all right. That's coming out real strong. I saw someone say... Actually, I saw multiple people say, the reason this film is going to be successful is because Superman is always there for us when the country's doing bad.
Oh, okay.
He's created during the Great Depression... He's big during World War II. He comes back at the late 70s after Vietnam. And now we are living through the sort of MAGA nightmare.
Yeah. That took a turn. I thought you were going to say, like, you saw somebody complaining.
No.
And I was that's why I said, like, the internet is just like
everything
that comes out, everybody
there
complains
is complaining
about.
Because there is a cult of... there's the men's rights, like the neckbeards.
Incels.
So there's a cult of people that really love Zack Snyder and his version of Superman. And they feel like maybe it would have gone on if this version didn't happen. So they're angry at this version.
We're talking about movies based on funny books. Like, can everybody chill the fuck out?
Funny books.
Like, what are we doing?
The anger of
come on.
I know. Just be indifferent to it.
Yeah. Yes. Just don't watch it.
Like I've said many times on this podcast that I don't like Zack Snyder's movies and I don't like Man of Steel, but I still like Superman. It didn't ruin my childhood.
Yeah.
It was a Superman movie that I did not like.
Yeah.
Now there might be a Superman movie that I do like. There you go.
It's also like, I know that you are not a fan of And Just Like That.
Uh-huh.
But it's been on the air for multiple years now. We're in season 3.
Yeah.
Samantha's not coming back.
Yeah.
The characters are what they are. I'm tired of the discourse. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's every time I see something on my feed about it, it's people complaining about it, people doing stitches with it, making fun of it. It's like, fucking move on to something else.
Yeah.
It makes me annoyed.
So you don't see any value in people hate watching it?
No, I don't think hate watching is a thing.
Okay.
I don't believe in it. I think you actually.
Okay.
I think it's like you actually kind of like it, but it's cool to say you hate it.
I understand. I see.
Because I've never in my life experienced this phenomenon that people call hate watching. Never. I've never watched anything that I didn't like and been like, but I gotta keep watching. I so quickly will turn it off.
Right. I agree.
I don't like it.
I don't know if I've ever watched anything that I was like, I actively hate this. Like, I've watched things ironically because I think it's poorly made and that makes me laugh.
But that's not
like a really bad movie.
Right.
Yeah, no, hate watch is like there's hate involved.
And this is like, I think it's fake because it's also a relatively new thing that people all of a sudden are like, oh yeah, I hate that. I hate every episode of that show, but I keep watching. It's like, well, maybe you actually just kind of like it.
Well, the only thing I could say, to push back, the only thing I could say is I do understand hate watching in the context of you loved something and then it just kept going. So the completionist in you was like, I've got to keep watching it, but I don't want to. That there have been situations like that where I'm like, why am I still watching this thing? Because I've invested in it and it's hurting me.
Yeah, I get that.
But even then, I think you should just go ahead and jump ship.
Yeah, just don't watch it.
Yeah,
just simply don't watch it. Yeah. And then if everybody hates it and everybody stops watching it, it'll be canceled and you'll have won.
Yeah.
So do that.
You know what though? This is a totally different topic, but somebody needs to write a real big think piece about I don't know how to put it, the phenomenon of a big revival and then it keeps going. Mm-hmm. Like the Conners had 17 seasons. Yeah. Oddly.
Almost as long as the original run.
Right. Like, just like that, I was like, oh, this is a revival of Sex and the City. And now we're still doing it.
It's just a new show.
Yeah. It's a weird thing to me.
And it's always this just like that. And they're always advertised at first as one season series.
Yes.
And then and then whenever they're successful, they almost immediately get picked up for another season.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, now this is just another show.
Now this is a show that's
which is, to me, it's like even more reason to be like, okay, then it's not Sex and the City then.
Yeah, I agree.
Just don't watch it. You don't like this show.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, those are, anyway, I don't even know how we got there, but that's my first and second, I guess, are Clueless and Legal Blonde.
Okay.
And you, did you do yours?
I didn't do any.
Oh,
yet.
Go ahead.
You were jumping all over doing.
Sorry, I'm really mad. I'm mad. I'm in for an episode about serotonin.
What's going on?
I'm ornery.
Do you want to go watch Legally Blonde?
I need to watch Legally Blonde. Calm down.
So I'm gonna say, first one I'm gonna say in my list is Halloween and fall images on Instagram.
Oh wow, you really okay? This is not the direction I went in. Okay, go ahead. So that is not a narrative.
No.
So you're talking like
a text,
images,
a text, media.
Okay.
If I'm being critical, I am seeing more AI versions of this, which is making me.
I hate AI photographs.
But I love actual like photographs of like your crunchy fall leaves and like a candle or maybe like a book, and then there's a TV in the background playing Hocus Pocus and someone's got a pumpkin spice latte. It just makes me think of my favorite time of year. It makes me feel cozy. I mean, Gorley and Russ have talked about this for many years. There's something oddly cozy about horror movies and the fall and thinking about death. And yeah, I love it. On Instagram, I follow a lot of accounts that are just like fall images and Halloween images. I can extend it a little bit to like ads from the 90s that are like, sometimes if I'm in a bad mood, you could easily find on YouTube like a supercut of 90s Halloween commercials.
Wow. And
it's always like, here's a cheaply made local commercial for like a place to buy like clown makeup, and it's like buy Halloween makeup, and then like a Budweiser commercial with Elvira in it, and I'm like, I'm done. I love it. I'm so on board for all of this. A promo for the Simpsons Halloween special coming up next. Dun, dun. They always used to play Thriller. So that's a go-to for me.
Have you seen, I guess they're AI, but they're like these videos that I find soothing of like bedrooms, of like a bedroom with big windows, and outside it's like a rainstorm. Or it's like snowing.
Yeah, some of these I like, even though I don't like myself for liking them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one recently that was like, it said like Halloween night 19 whatever, and it was like a nice little middle class room and like a little kid in a costume like kind of sleeping on a couch, and the TV I think was showing like Goosebumps or like something something that might have been on TV at that time, and like Candy, and it's like this is Halloween night.
Yeah.
And it gets you. There's so much nostalgia related to Halloween. Yeah.
There's just nostalgia is just being just sold to us, right? Like everything is. There's a lot of nostalgia. We're steeped in nostalgia, right?
Yes, but I'm not as cynical about it as I think others are. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it is a worrying sign.
Sure.
That we are so, as a society, nostalgic for.
But I think it's.
But that's nothing new.
Yeah. I think it's always. I think it happens with. I think there's something personal about when you get older.
Yeah.
Like as you age, you think back to an entirely different time in your life where you didn't worry about anything. Forget like politics. Like I barely knew who the president was.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm sure there was. I was born in 1983. Horrible shit happened in the 80s. I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
do you ever see those videos on TikTok that are like? They're very often like POV. It's like POV. Yeah. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen ones. This is an odd one. Have you seen these TikToks and videos and stuff that are like nostalgic for the pandemic?
No, I have not seen that.
That's an interesting one that's I've been seeing more and more of, where it's like POV, it's 2020. Something was cozy about quarantine.
Well, I mean, literally, you're in your house, and also nothing's being asked of you.
Nothing's being asked of you. You have no responsibilities. You're not in school. A lot of people aren't going to work.
Yeah.
For kids who were in school, they were like just didn't have to go to school for a whole year, and then everybody was watching the same shows.
You could
Everybody
just bake
was
bread and like play Animal Crossing.
A lot of 2020 nostalgia has been popping up lately.
That just shows how much capitalism kills us.
Crazy. But
like those memes that are like, you don't hate Mondays, you hate capitalism.
Yeah. But it's like the other ones that I've seen a lot are like, and sometimes they make me emotional. They're like the last day of school in 2003. And it'll be like real clips of like from somebody's home videos of like, or a multitude of home videos of like kids, teenagers, like millennials when they were teenagers on like the last day of school. Yeah. And like that feeling of like summer's about to start. We're in class, but we're not really in class. We're playing nostalgic music. We're all like with our friends from childhood. Yeah. And it's comforting, but also kind of sad. Good nostalgia is tinged with sadness. Because nostalgia is yearning for a time. Right, but
wasn't it originally defined as an illness?
Maybe.
Like, isn't nostalgia like homesickness?
Like, I'm not sure, but that makes sense. Homesickness, but for a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, bad things can come from it, and obviously, it's monetized like everything else. Like just today, I saw it's the 40th anniversary of She-Ra, the Princess of Power. So they're putting out a She-Ra Barbie, and I said that to Jen, and I said, I don't not want the She-Ra Barbie. So there's something cynical in that, right? Because who the fuck's gonna buy that but me? Right. But people my age.
But if you want to be optimistic, but who gives a shit? Also, who created that was somebody who loves it.
Probably, yeah.
Like there is love there.
Yeah. So I don't give a shit.
All right. So my next one is, I guess I'll just stick with movies and do my last movie. I feel like
wait. I should do two.
Oh right.
Because you're up. You're ahead.
I'm ahead. You're right.
Okay. So this is another weird one. The song "Storybook Love" by Mark Knopfler from the Princess Bride soundtrack.
Good Lord, you got really, what's it called? You got really granular, yeah.
So if you've ever seen the Princess Bride, which itself is a go-to text for Serotonin, but specifically like the love theme from it, called "Storybook Love," which is like
my love is like a story.
That's enough. I don't want to be. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube.
Let's do like a fake version.
Yeah. I can't. I'm such a bad improviser.
Princess Bride.
Yeah. It's just so good.
Isn't that covered under parody?
It would be covered under parody, but also there's not. But YouTube is all AI algorithms that are looking for things. They're not. There's no one actually making. There's no one actually listening to shit.
Worlds. Everyone.
How do you feel about this song?
It's a fucking bop.
I know. It's so good.
What's another song?
And it's also, I love, they don't do this anymore. It's also the score to the movie.
Yeah.
The score then is the song.
We don't do that anymore.
No, we don't.
What happened to movie soundtracks? God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't see now. I want to sing it, but I can't.
Yeah.
But you know what else is a song that's like that? That like legitimately, I will listen to the song as a song. Yeah. Is the theme from Neverending Story?
Yes, but
talk about a fucking
that's a
slaps.
good one. Yeah, that's a very, very good one.
Mm-hmm. Even the beginning, it's just like right from the beginning, you're like, okay.
I think that was on one of our lists when me and Bill did an episode of our favorite titular songs.
It's just a great song.
Yeah,
period.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's fucking great. I like the there's the I don't know what version of it, but like the super long version.
Yeah,
that like takes 9 minutes to have anyone say anything.
It's got a real build.
Yeah.
There are a few songs like that. I feel that way too about like the song from Mannequin.
Oh yeah. Nothing's Gonna Stop Us.
Yeah. I mean, these are just feel good songs that were tied to movies.
Yeah. So unlike what you were saying with Clueless and Legally Blonde, like this probably is because it ties me. It pushes a nostalgia button in me that reminds me of a movie I liked a lot as a kid. I still like the movie a lot, but it's like I'm thinking about like I'm having a bad day and I need something, just something I know is gonna work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Something like you ever having a shitty day and you're like, you know what might work right now? The theme to Night Court.
Oh my God, yes.
Somehow
they didn't have to go that hard, but
I know,
they did.
Some of those old themes were so like perfectly made. Like it's like how about put on the fucking Rescue Rangers song? Tell me if you're sad now.
Well, like when we were watching Cheers, that button always pops up that's like skip intro, and we'd always be like, "What are you fucking nuts?
Are you out of your mind?"
That's part of the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's like that was back when intros were like 2 minutes long. Yeah. It was so long.
It was really great.
Yeah.
I want bring those back.
Yeah. You were just saying nostalgia is a problem, and now you're like, bring it back.
It's not a problem. Sometimes I think it's egregious. It's gotten to borrow a word that we used before. It's gotten so granular. Like literally, it'll be like nostalgic for like a day, a specific day.
Yeah,
in the year.
That's true.
Like it gets really, really granular.
My problem with
it'll be like, nostalgia to when you went to the doctors as a kid and came back with McDonald's, like something super specific.
Yeah, but that is fun because that is
of course it was fun because you flex on all those bitches.
Yeah, you're like, oh, would you have some fucking pizza and milk?
Guess what? I had a Happy Meal.
You flex on those bitches.
I got a needle.
Yeah,
but I was super brave about it.
Yeah, I'm cool about it now. I guess one of the things I don't like about nostalgia is when people don't recognize that nostalgia is what's operating. Like there's tons and tons and tons and tons of versions of this meme where it's like He-Man and Ninja Turtles, and it says, "If you grew up with these, you had a great childhood." Or a better example for what I'm thinking about is like He-Man, and then like whatever's popular now, and then be like, "This was what it was good."
Yeah, shut
up. What has happened to our country? And it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. That was a terrible, stupid cartoon, and this is a terrible, stupid cartoon.
Yeah.
And when these children become adults, they're gonna look back at this and feel nostalgic.
Kids, Gen Z.
Do you honestly think that the shit from the 80s is better than this shit?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. Gen Z is like that with SpongeBob.
Yeah. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. Yeah. God bless.
Like, I don't need a whole treatise on like why it's actually G.I. Joe's actually the best thing ever. Like, you like it because you liked it as a kid. Like, fucking, and it's cool if they make a cool, good version of it as you get older. I like when a text or a franchise grows with its audience. But let's not act like the original He-Man was anything more than toy commercial.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, go back and watch it and tell me if
actually
you still like it.
Yeah, actually watch it.
Or you don't have something to say about it.
Right.
Because you're operating, like you said, you're operating based on your memory of it.
Right. And also just a very weird old man mentality of like everything gets worse somehow. Mm-hmm. Things were better.
That's why these kids are soft.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Fuck off.
And when we were kids and fucking watching Ninja Turtles, our parents were like, why aren't they outside playing with broken glass like we did?
Go find a stick with fucking blood on it. All right, what do you got?
I have my last film, which is You've Got Mail. So You've Got Mail. I was torn.
This is cozy.
I was torn between You've Got Mail and When Harry Met Sally. But in terms of just like legitimately what I will put on if I feel like, oh, I just want to watch something that's going to make me feel good, I go with You've Got Mail for so many reasons.
I think Harry Met Sally is 1,000 times better than You Got Mail.
Yes, as a film, I agree with you. It is a better movie.
Yeah.
But You've Got Mail is just so like, it's just got everything. Like it has like, everything. It has everything. It's got bookstore porn.
Yeah. It's
got New York City porn. It's got
pre-transphobic Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, well yeah. It's so it's got early internet nostalgia. It's got a lot. It has a lot to offer. It's sweet, and it's it's a great movie. It really is.
And if you have 9 or 10 hours to spend, you just throw it on.
Why? It's long.
It feels too long. It's super episodic, so it feels long.
Yeah.
And also, I remember I saw it a lot on cable where they would really stretch that bitch out.
Really?
Yeah, like TBS would play it for like 4 hours straight.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense with all the commercials. And stuff. Yeah, it's just got certain films have a quality that just they make me feel happy, and I think it's not just me. Like, there are certain, like, another one just off the top of my head is like That Thing You Do.
Yeah,
I feel that way when I watch that movie too.
Yeah,
of like, oh, this is just a movie that makes me feel happy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's for me. You've Got Mail. Like, I'll always, I watch it at least a couple times a year.
Dude, a couple times a year. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I really love it. Yeah, I love. There's so much about it that's just for me.
Interesting.
For me, like it's in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Oh, I love things like that.
Well, all the like I said, all the book stuff.
Yeah.
And the New Yorkie stuff, and I also like the beautiful like Efron.
Yes.
That's not what I meant. I meant like the beautiful like Nancy Meyers-ish kind of sets.
Sure, yeah,
but also like the Efron wit. And charm go together so well.
Yeah. No, it's a great looking movie.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And the fact that it's so of a time that I don't know if like younger generations would like it because it's so early. It's like you got to know what AOL is.
Yeah, the title might mean nothing to you.
Right. Yeah. Wow, yeah, like it doesn't say that anymore.
Yeah.
And you don't need to like. We're always on the internet all the time now.
Yeah.
You don't need to like in the beginning, like one of the scenes is like she's waiting for her boyfriend to go to work so she could go on the internet,
right,
and check to see if she has mail.
Now we're drowning we're choking on the internet every second of our lives.
It's bile in our throats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love you. I love you. Love. You've Got Mail. It's got great music too.
It certainly does.
And it's got who's the actor who plays Tom Hanks' father?
Oh, Dabney Coleman.
What a dream! I love that. He's so great in that movie.
He's great. Yeah. That man eats peanuts. You really want to eat those peanuts.
Parker Posey is great in it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's great. It is a great movie.
Did you ever see that meme of like a bunch? I don't know what movie it's from. It's like a bunch of people getting thrown around in a room, and it's like the peanuts inside your dad's hand before he eats them. He's shaking them. It's so stupid.
That's so great. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he does eat peanuts, and that it makes you want one.
So this next one, I'm cheating here because it's not necessarily a go-to text for serotonin. It's the thing I watch whenever I'm sick, and that is New Girl. I just binge episodes of New Girl.
Huh.
They're funny. They're fast.
Yeah.
They go down very easy.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like. It's just boop 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 boop. You can watch a bunch of row. It's like eating M&Ms.
Yeah.
It's not. But is it my favorite comedy of all time? No. But I'm just delighted by the cast talking to each other.
Yeah.
Like that's what made that show good. And just like, so I rewatched the pilot recently, and the kid who's like, he says something about texting, and then a little kid's like, yeah, why don't you go do it with your typewriter, old man? It's just so funny.
I think Winston might be my favorite.
Yes. Oh, Winston.
He's so good.
It's a typical Winston CC mess around.
What with the honey roast?
Yeah. I know Winston, such a gentle soul. It's so great. It's so great.
Why do you?
It's
why?
the kind of thing where you know like this. I think this is more a thing of like when you're in your teens and 20s. But it's the kind of thing where you go like, I wish my life was like this.
Oh yeah.
I wish I had a friend group this tight.
Uh-huh.
And we just gotten to mess around.
Yeah, I remember being a kid and feeling that way about friends.
Yeah,
I was like, one day I'm gonna like live in the city. And
unlimited
have, like,
time that I could hang out with people before work.
Yeah,
and get up at 5 a.m. to go get a coffee shop.
Now I'm like, God, Friends is unwatchable. Yeah, that's the thing. Like even Seinfeld, Friends, Sex and the City, like it's all these friend groups that like have time to see each other multiple times per week. It's like, do you people ever work? Like in Seinfeld, they're always
the thing we want.
Like, are you at the? Is this your lunch hour?
Maybe what we crave is a job that's not defined by the toil of labor.
yeah. Oh boy. Listen, the children yearn for the mines.
Yeah.
So I have one book on here, and it's really what I'm talking.
Nerd.
Yeah, I know. What I'm really talking about is an audiobook, actually.
Okay.
It's Bossy Pants by Tina Fey.
There's not talk about going down smooth. Nothing goes down smoother than essays or memoirs by a funny person.
Yeah,
it's just I could eat them all day.
So I love Tina Fey. I love 30 Rock. I love a lot of what she's done. But this is the only book she's ever written.
Which is good.
She's written one screenplay and one book.
Good, she did it.
She did it. And it's a memoir, but so it came out kind of at the height of her fame. Mm-hmm. And I read it as a book when it first came out, and I liked
incredible
it.
cover. One of the best covers ever.
Great cover. It's her with like big fat man arms.
It's
like
subtle
posing.
Too.
It's very subtle. Yeah.
You kind of have to look at it for a second to get it.
Well, because it's a play on the fact that like she's the boss, and people typically think of bosses as men.
Right. But it's also making fun.
It's
of her
also
body.
just and it's also just like so silly, which is Tina Fey humor. So this one is kind of tied to a time too. So I read it when it first came out as a text, like I just read it with my eyes, and I liked it. But then
you say that like an alien.
I read it with my eyes.
Who went to a planet that they still read books? Like, ooh, they read it with their eyes.
And then I got it on. I actually think I burned it. Like I illegally downloaded and burned it onto a CD.
Oh my god!
Which is like, talk about old school. In like 2010 or something.
Yikes! How old is this? I forget.
I think it came out in like 2008 or 2009.
Oh my goodness!
It came out like around when 30 Rock was still on when it came out.
Was it?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yes, because there's a few chapters about 30 Rock, and she writes about it in the present tense.
Interesting.
Did you look it up?
I'm looking it up currently. Bossy Pants. Tell me when it came out though. 2011.
Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, that makes sense actually because the cover is great. I just started listening to it. It's like
did she read it?
She reads it.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
and you know how like what's it called? Like necessity is the mother of invention or whatever. Yeah. I just started teaching, and I was driving a car that for some reason like the radio didn't work or something, and I could only listen to CDs. So it was like a hoopty.
Talk about something that people must have nostalgia for.
Yeah, I know. And so I was like, let me just like listen to this. I'll listen to audiobooks. And this was the first one that I listened to. I think I might have had a friend burn it for me or something. And I listened to it, and I just like loved it. And it was like what I listened to on the way to work as my first year of teaching is really hard. And it's just tough. Yeah. Like as any teacher would know. Yeah, I know. Summer's off. But I would listen to it on my commute in and out. And then I just started listening to it over and over again. Like I'd go through the whole book, then start over from the beginning. And I'm telling you, like my entire first year teaching, pretty much, I listened to it over and over again on my commute.
Interesting.
And it just like to the point where like now if I read it, like if I go back and try to read the book with my eyeballs, it's almost like ruined for me because I have it memorized like you memorize a song and I hear it like and I'm reading it.
Inflection.
I hear her inflection, so it's like I can't even do this anymore. I just have to listen to it. And it's just
so was this like
really
pre
fun.
You listening to podcasts?
Yes.
Okay.
Podcasts. I didn't get into podcasts until Serial, which I think is where most.
Wow, that's pretty late.
Most people got into podcasts.
A lot of people
got into podcasts around then, and that was
given your age,
2015, 2016.
Because I really started listening to podcasts in earnest in like 2009 or 20.
Really?
2010.
Well, I listened to like from time to time to like, how did this get made and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't like an avid podcast listener.
See, I'm not
until Serial.
I'm not a big music person. So like and Jen loves music. So like when we get in the car, she's like, I don't want to hear people talk to each other.
Bobby, my husband always says that too, and I'm like, you don't get it.
Yeah,
you just that's not what it is.
We're having a chill session.
We're hanging out. These are my friends.
Yes.
It's so sad. These are my friends I've never met and wouldn't know
but
me.
I know I'm intimately aware of their lives.
Yeah, it's not like I think people who don't listen to podcasts think of it as talk radio, where like they're just talking to fill the time, so they'll talk about bullshit.
Yeah. It's not that.
It's not that. You're listening to a podcast right now, baby. You know it.
Yeah,
like we have things to say.
Yeah, it's people talking to each other.
It's much more like a panel discussion on a topic.
Yeah.
Than it is of like,
well,
let's talk about the news. All right, let's move on to this. Let's move on to how did you watch that episode or whatever last night? Like that's not it.
Yeah.
That's not the vibe at all.
Whatever.
So audiobooks, and now I'm very pleased that audiobooks are now available on Spotify.
Yeah.
So you can get a ton of audiobooks for free. And I'm a pretty big fan of audiobooks, but that one specifically, I still will like sometimes listen to it. That one and also Sarah Silverman's book. I've listened to
Bedwetter?
The Bedwetter multiple times.
Yeah.
And the way Tina Fey reads it is so funny.
Yeah.
And the book is just like her writing where it's like a lot of jokes packed in, even though it's a memoir. So it's just one that I still love. It gives me a shot of serotonin.
There you go, baby. So my next one is so incredibly granular.
But boy.
YouTube clips of James Baldwin interviews.
Oh.
And by the way, I should say I'm not some intellectual. I only understand maybe 90% of what he's saying. But there's something to me, it's not ASMR, but there's something to me that's incredibly pleasing hearing someone very smart talk with purpose. So like when you YouTube, like just search for James Baldwin, you'll find him on Dick Cavett having that famous debate with that white guy. I forget what his job was. And that's the one where he says like, they're talking about whether or not there is bias against black people. And he's like, I don't know if they hate me, but I know that they keep my people in the ghetto. And I know, like that. And so that's interesting. There's an interview that was done for ABC that for some reason they didn't air it at the time. That's really interesting. There's a documentary called like Go Talk to the Man or whatever the fuck it's called that actually halfway through he didn't want to do it anymore. So
Going to Meet the Man.
I
have the book right here.
Yeah. So like it ends up being very weird because like the interviewer is very. It's like they're speaking two different languages. The interviewer keeps asking him like these questions that he's resentful of answering. There's of course the famous debate with William F. Buckley. I carried the cotton. There's also like a really chill interview with him and the poet Nikki Genovese who just died, and they're just talking. He was just a good orator.
Oh yeah. It's so funny you say that. Just a few episodes ago, we did an episode on dream sequences.
Yes.
And did you ever watch Feud Capote versus the Swans?
No, I never did.
There's an episode of that where he's at his lowest point, where all the swans the women that have all rejected him. He has no friends left. He's been banished from high society. He's drinking and doing drugs. His writing is not going well. He's just like at a very low point. And James Baldwin comes to try to
plays him.
He's played by Chris Chalk. It's a really great performance.
Really?
He comes to like cheer him up, and they spend like a day together.
So they were friends.
They were contemporaries. I think they had a sometimes contentious relationship. But this show posits that they spent like one good day together. But it's a dream. At the end of the episode, it was all Truman Capote's dream.
So it's like that's who he would want to.
Yeah. And it's a great. It's like a bottle episode where they just like spend a whole day together.
I just want to watch that episode.
It's a great episode. That's a great show. It really is a great show. That's a great episode of the show. But I love James Baldwin.
I should also say
great
that
performance.
I do like his poetry and stuff.
Have you read his books, his novels?
I've never read any of his novels.
Really?
No, I've mostly just read his poetry.
Oh my God.
And listened to his YouTube videos. But it's like so like he had poetry like you could snap your fingers to. It was so fucking good. And I think, not to get political, but living in such times, just remembering that a person can be that smart and people like that ever existed and were in public life is gives you hope.
Well, that's it. I mean, yeah, it's depressing. Like even think about like 2 presidents ago, we had Barack Obama, who like
the most educated president.
Yeah,
ever.
I mean, and you have policy issues with him. He wasn't perfect, whatever. Great, but he was so smart,
right?
And
he's
so eloquent,
smart. Right?
And it just like listening to him talk about anything made you feel like you were listening to like an oracle.
He was so
like,
great.
He's just so great.
Yeah, he really was.
And it's like, God, like remember when he was just like so popular? Remember when that was so popular?
Yeah.
And now we've gone so far in the other direction.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's one where it's like, I would, if it were a different time right now, I would go back and watch Obama clips for Serotonin.
Yeah.
But now that'll just make me sad.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you mean.
Like I actually, this is a weird, and not to get like too political, but like one clip over the last, before this current administration, I used to go back and watch, sometimes them announcing that Joe Biden won the election.
Yeah.
And watch him like giving his acceptance speech and stuff, and him giving the speech during the pandemic where they were all honking their cars. Honking the horns in their cars, and I was like, God, like what a moment that was, and it felt so good. And now it makes me sad. Anyway, my last one is, I mentioned this a little bit in the previous episode. The Madonna's performance of Vogue at the VMAs.
Yes.
The Marie Antoinette one.
Oh yes, you did talk about. Yeah.
I don't know what.
What is it?
I mean, I do know what it is. It's just super like fabulous. And, and decadent, and the costumes are so amazing, and that song is so good, and the dancing, the choreography is amazing.
Yeah,
and it's just like the crowd is loving it, and it's so. It just makes me feel so like it's like a warm hug. I love it very much. It makes me. That's one that truly like, because it's only a couple minutes long. Like I'll just like put it on my phone and watch it and be like, ooh, this makes me just, God, this is so fucking good. I just love it.
I really like was it VMAs with Lady Gaga and Elton John?
Yeah.
That was really good.
That's a good one.
And she goes from, was it Poker Face or Bad Romance? I forget. She goes from one of her songs into Your Song.
Yeah. I don't remember which one, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's just one of those things. It's just like it's so good. Sometimes it's really like the serotonin thing. Like it's like the rhythm of something, or like you just like, I just need a little taste of this right now.
Yeah, and it's also
like if you're, I don't know if your job is very different from mine, but like I'll take like little breaks at work for like 5 minutes and watch something I like, just to like give me
sometimes
life.
I can if I have time I could do that. But it's also like there's something about, especially something short like like that VMA performance, like it's a few minutes long, and it's just like to watch something that has so much energy and like was clearly thoughtfully designed, and like great care was taken in every aspect of it. The costumes, the makeup, the clothing, the choreography, and everything, every cue is hit and everything is like just right. And it's like this perfect thing. Where like I go back and watch that and I'm like, oh my God, like this is just so fucking good. And it's also just, I mean, it's Madonna. It's so, it's iconic. And and I love like that Marie Antoinette. I love that movie too. Yeah. But not, so here, okay, to get granular, like I love looking at photos from that movie more than I actually like watching that movie. Like I have this Sophia, Janine got me for my birthday, this like Sophia Coppola, like photo book.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like her diaries and photo book, and the photos of Marie Antoinette are just so gorgeous.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's such a like candy.
I still haven't seen the Elvis one that she made.
Oh yeah, because I remember I was saying that I see them as like connected, that you could read them as like twins.
Yeah.
Because it's about young women trapped.
Yeah. You said it was good, right?
Yeah, I liked it. It's not as good as Marie Antoinette, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I gotta see that.
It didn't make a big splash. I think people were upset because it makes Elvis look really, really bad.
And it kind of came out around the same time as the Elvis.
And that movie sucks so bad.
Yeah, the super like Elvis is the hero biopic.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in any biopic that makes somebody look like they're not human.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have any honorable mentions?
We talked a little bit about it already, but I guess my other one would be like old Sex and the City episodes.
Is there a go-to ep that you like?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one where Carrie models when she falls. She falls down on the runway. The Real one. Me, it's called. That's my favorite. That is my favorite episode.
Yeah.
It's I love the end with the music at the end. It's To Be Real.
Yeah.
It's just such a great episode.
Yeah. An honorable mention for me is Deadpool 1.
You've talked about this before, that you watch this when you're sad.
Yeah, Deadpool 1 is one of the best superhero movies ever. It's just, and it's small. Like it's a perfect little movie with a small little cast. It wasn't a huge movie. It's very funny. The action's very good. The story's good. It's sort of perfect. And I think it's an honorable mention for me because, as they've made two more Deadpool movies, the second one I like, but it's nowhere near the way I feel about the first one. And then the third one, I enjoyed it as a theme park ride, to quote Martin Scorsese, but it was not a film. I mean, I remember after saying, this isn't a film. It's just a carousel of cameos. Mm-hmm. So once you've seen it once, oh wow, I can't believe it's that, you can't get that again. And then what you have is just a very bad movie.
That's how I feel about Anchorman 2.
Yes, Anchorman 2 is like that. Yeah.
And also like 8 hours long.
Yeah. Anchorman 2 is a real bummer. And also my feelings about Ryan Reynolds have really cooled.
Well, hasn't everyone's?
So, like, when Deadpool came out, it was kind of a dark horse. Like, it was like not like a real Marvel movie, a Marvel associated movie from another studio, a spinoff of X-Men that like who one gave a shit about.
Right.
It's a character that wasn't famous really before the movie, other than like comic book people. He was kind of not a big star anymore. He had hit a dip in his career. So it was kind of like, this guy, this is his passion project. And then like, none of that's going for it anymore. Yeah. What's your last one?
That was it.
Oh, okay. My last one is, this one's not, it's not something I go to all the time for Serotonin, to be honest with you. This is just something that helped me through the election. When I don't know if you guys heard, but Donald Trump was elected president in November 2024. Yeah, it was a real shit show. And it's Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So if you don't know I've done an episode on Strange New Worlds, but if you don't, the easiest way to describe it is it's got all the hopefulness and positivity and like gee golly gosh, the future that the original Star Trek has, but with a lot of really funny dialogue and comedy and like very like modern looking stuff. It's the most, and I'm not at all the first person to say this, of all the Star Trek spinoffs, this is the one that's really most in the spirit of the original show. But, you know, I love the original show, but it's also like, it's slow and it's pace, you know, it's procedural in a way. It's, you know, this is like super, super snappy and fun. And, you know, when Trump was reelected and we were all so terrified about everything, I was like, I honestly, I need to imagine a future, just any future, but then especially a future where we got over all this. We got over war. We got over capitalism. We got over a scarcity society. We got over, you know, all of these terrible things. And we just live in a, you know, meritocracy where we could just explore science together. Like I binge watched, there's 2 seasons of it. I binge watched, that's all I watched after the election. I just binge watched for how, I think 2 weeks or whatever. And it was just so cozy going into that world and just being like, yes, there probably will be a future, and it's got to be better than this.
Yeah, it's so funny you say that because it's we talked about this a little bit at the time, but I remember even texting to you like because it was November, obviously, being like, Wicked is going to be my personality for the next month. I am going to lean fully into Wicked. And then that's when I started like rereading all the Oz books, remember?
Yeah.
So I was just like, something about fantasy is very appealing to me right now. And I don't like fantasy, but I think it's just to escape everything. And Wicked was coming out around that time. So I was just like, this is it. Like I'm only ingesting Wicked content for the next little while.
Yeah. It was like that. It was like to get out of this world, but also it was the thing of imagining a future.
Yeah.
Like there's an episode where they go to a more primitive planet where they're having a civil war. And he's like, the captain is like, you know, we had the same problems that you had. And they show like, he shows them like a montage, like it projected, and it's like World War II and blah, blah, blah. But then there's Jan 6 footage in it, which was, this is when people like, Star Trek is woke, which is like, what were you watching before that you think it's woke now? But I just love that direct, like this is one of the worst things that happened and we got over it.
Well, that day has to be remembered as a bad day.
Yeah.
The fact that we're living in a world where some people are like, it wasn't even a big deal is part of what's so scary about the world we're living in right now.
What's going on in California as we record this is protests, but Fox News is making it look like fucking Mad Max.
It's
I've been happy that Democrats have been like, no, you know what the real fucking problem was? Jan 6. Like, let's never stop talking about it.
Yeah. It's egregious. They've been successful in gaslighting us into feeling like, are we overreacting? Was it not that big of a deal? And then you look at the footage again and you're like, oh, fuck. Like, this is a direct attack on our government.
Right.
From its own people.
Right. And him winning, genuinely winning.
And then pardoning all of them.
I know.
But anyway, that's our Serotonin episode. Well, I think what we've gotten to here is like how much we rely on media to keep us from ending our lives. And thank God... Seriously though, like I remember like with Wicked being like, thank God I have this, because if I didn't have this right now, I don't know what I'd do.
The original, the first Star Trek movie, if you recall, at the very end there's like titles on the screen and it says the human adventure is just beginning, and that's what I need sometimes. It's gonna go.
It's
gonna,
like perspective.
Yeah.
And like, even though it's imaginary,
right?
It's the thing about.
But even that, sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Just the fact that we can imagine it makes me feel hopeful.
Yeah.
That it's that there are some, and it's a huge fandom that people really relate to.
Yeah.
That anyone can even imagine a world like this and want to live in a world like this shows that there's got to be other good people.
Yeah, I think there's the distinction to me, like the biggest distinction between Star Wars and Star Trek is that Star Trek has always been more like future forward and hopeful, Whereas like Star Wars, it echoes our world, but it is a long time ago.
Right.
In a galaxy far, far away. Like Star Trek it's us.
Yeah.
And it's our future.
Yeah, right.
It's not an alternate universe.
Right. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's created in the 60s, and it is like,
and out of the most turbulent times, you get these programs that are future forward or future facing.
Yeah. So, whatever it is granular because I think it's whatever speaks to you. But whatever it is, and I'm sure for a lot of you it's this podcast. And
it's a beacon of light in the darkness.
Hey, I'm so happy to do that for you. I'm so happy to be here for you.
If you only believe in the sun when you can see it, you'll never make it through the night, Mike.
Goddamn right.
General Leia Organa.
From one of the best Star Wars movies. All right, this has been PCMC Pop Culture Man Children. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I was joined by Anthony Bongiorno.
Thank you for having me.
Go look at what gives you serotonin. Go enjoy it. Soak it up.
Get on an SSRI while you're at it.
Yeah, do that. We end the episode by saying,
go bye-bye.